why your child gets bored quickly. Stop doing this. Have you ever noticed how quickly your child loses interest? 1 minute, they're excited about a new toy, and the next, they've already moved on, saying, "I'm bored." If you've ever thought kids bored too fast, you're not alone. Many parents quietly wonder why kids get bored easily. And more importantly, are you raising your child wrong? The truth might surprise you. Boredom is not the problem. In fact, the real issue often lies in how modern parenting unintentionally removes boredom altogether. Many parents constantly entertain their children, filling every moment with toys, screens, activities, or instructions. But here's something many parents don't realize about habits that may limit creativity. When children are never bored, they never learn to think. This is where the Japanese parenting method offers a powerful shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "How do I keep my child entertained?" Japanese parents often ask, "How do I give my child space to explore?" This subtle difference changes everything. If you're constantly trying to fix boredom, distract boredom, or eliminate boredom, you may actually be blocking your child's child brain development and limiting their ability to become truly creative. So before rushing to hand your child another toy or turning on a screen, pause and ask yourself, what if boredom is exactly what your child needs? Why boredom creates creative children? The more bored, the smarter, the more relaxation time. It sounds counterintuitive, but boredom is one of the most powerful tools for raising creative kids. When a child says, "I'm bored," something incredible is about to happen if you let it. Boredom forces the brain to activate. Without external stimulation, children begin to imagine, invent, and create. This is where imagination development kids truly begins. It's also where creative problem-solving skills are built not through instructions, but through exploration. Research in cognitive development children shows that unstructured time allows the brain to connect ideas in new ways. This is why the importance of free time for kids cannot be overstated. In Japan, children are often given long periods of unstructured play. This reflects one of the most important Japanese parenting secrets. Trust the child's natural curiosity. Instead of structured schedules filled with lessons and activities, children are allowed to experience the benefits of doing nothing. This leads to stronger executive function skills, better focus and attention, increased intrinsic motivation in kids, deeper engagement in play. This is also closely tied to the concept of flow state in children play, a mental state where children become deeply immersed in what they are doing. But here's the key. Flow cannot be forced. It emerges from boredom. So if you've been asking how to deal with bored kids, the answer may not be to fix it, but to allow it. Because the more space you give, the more your child's creativity grows. Tip 1. Fewer toys, more creative children. One of the biggest hidden parenting mistakes today is believing that more toys equals more happiness. In reality, the opposite is often true. Too many toys overwhelm children. Instead of engaging deeply, they jump quickly from one toy to another, leading to the common complaint: kids bored too fast. This is why the idea of less toys, smarter kids is gaining attention worldwide. In many Japanese homes, children have fewer toys, but they play longer and more creatively. Why? Because limitation creates opportunity. When a child has only a few objects, they begin to use them in new ways. A simple block can become a car, a house, or a spaceship. This is the foundation of learning through play. If you're wondering how to encourage imaginative play, start by reducing clutter. A helpful approach is the toy rotation method. Keep only a few toys available at a time. Store the rest out of sight. Rotate them every few weeks. This simple smart parenting hack refreshes your child's interest without buying anything new. By doing less, you actually give your child more focus, more creativity, and more independence. Tip 2. Stop buying toys. Start providing materials. Another key shift in the Japanese parenting method is moving away from finished toys toward open-ended materials. Instead of asking, "What toy should I buy?" ask, "What can my child create?" This is one of the most effective ways for kids' creativity development. Open-ended materials include paper, cardboard, and boxes, clay, crayons, and paint, fabric, sticks, and everyday household items. These materials don't tell the child what to do. Instead, they invite exploration. This is the essence of open-ended play ideas for kids. A toy with one function limits thinking, but a material with no fixed purpose expands imagination. This approach also supports how to build problem-solving. They must think, test, fail, and try again. That process builds creative resilience, confidence, independent thinking. So if you want to know how to make kids more creative, stop focusing on buying and start focusing on providing possibilities. Tip 3. Protect your child's creative state. Have you ever seen your child completely absorbed in play, talking to themselves, building something, and lost in their own little world? That moment is called the flow state in children play, and it's one of the most valuable states for your child's development. In this state, your child is not just playing, they are thinking, exploring, and creating at a deep level. Their brain is forming connections, strengthening focus, and developing real problem-solving abilities. But here's the important part. This state is very fragile. Many parents unintentionally break it by interrupting, asking too many questions, giving suggestions, or trying to show a better way to play. Even small interruptions can pull a child out of that deep focus. This is a subtle example of parenting backwards. In the Japanese parenting method, parents often choose to observe quietly instead of stepping in. They understand that creativity needs uninterrupted time to grow. If you truly want to support your child's development, sometimes the best thing you can do is step back. Protecting this creative state helps your child build stronger focus, deeper thinking, and essential executive function skills. It also strengthens intrinsic motivation, the natural desire to explore and create, not for praise, but for the joy of it. So the next time your child is deeply engaged, pause before you speak. Because sometimes the best parenting is simply not interrupting. Tip 4. Don't help too early. Build independent children. One of the most common mistakes that quietly limits creativity is helping children too quickly. The moment a child struggles, many parents instinctively step in tying their shoes, fixing a broken toy, or solving the problem for them. It feels like support. But over time, it sends a different message. You can't do this on your own. If you want to raise independent kids, you have to allow space for struggle. This is something Japanese parents approach differently. Instead of rushing in, they pause, they watch. They trust that the child is capable of figuring things out, even if it takes longer. And in that extra time, something powerful happens. Children begin to think, they test ideas, they make mistakes, and learn from them. This process builds confidence, strengthens creative problem-solving skills, and develops real resilience that lasts far beyond childhood. Of course, this doesn't mean ignoring your child. It means offering just enough guidance to support without taking control. Because every time you solve a problem for your child, you remove a chance for them to grow. Let them try. Let them struggle. Let them succeed in their own way. That's how true independence and creativity is built. Tip 5. Focus on the process, not the results. In many cultures, children are praised for outcomes. Good job. That's beautiful. You're so smart. But excessive focus on results can harm kids' creativity development. Why? Because it shifts motivation from internal to external. Instead of enjoying the process, children begin to seek approval. This weakens intrinsic motivation in kids and limits risk-taking. In the Japanese parenting method, there is often more focus on effort and process. You worked really hard on that. I like how you tried different ideas. This encourages exploration rather than perfection. If you want to support early childhood development, focus on how your child thinks, not just what they produce. Creativity is not about the final product. It's about the journey. Overpraise, a subtle habit that can limit creativity. Praise is important, but too much, especially when it's vague, can gently reduce a child's natural creativity over time. This is something many parents don't always notice. When children hear constant praise like, "good job," or "you're so smart," they may slowly begin to rely on approval instead of exploring on their own. They might avoid challenges, feel unsure about trying new things, or become afraid of making mistakes. Over time, this can affect their creative resilience, the ability to keep going, even when things don't work out. Instead of praising too often, try describing what you see. Notice their effort, their ideas, and their curiosity. Simple observations can be more meaningful than general praise. This approach supports healthy brain development and helps children stay motivated from within. Because the goal isn't just to make your child feel good in the moment. It's to help them grow with confidence and creativity over time. How to help children become more creative using Japanese parenting methods. So, what does it all come down to? If you're searching for how to raise creative children, the answer may not be adding more, but removing more. Remove constant entertainment, too many toys, unnecessary help, pressure for results, and add boredom, free time, open-ended play, trust. This is the essence of the Japanese parenting method. It's not about perfection. It's about balance. It's about understanding. Why Japanese kids are smarter is not about intelligence but environment. Creativity grows in space, not structure. Children learn best through learning, through play. If you've been wondering how to reduce screen time for children, start by making real-world play more engaging, not by forcing limits. If you've asked how to encourage imaginative play, give fewer instructions, not more. If you've struggled with how to deal with bored kids, stop trying to fix boredom. Let boredom work. Because in that quiet moment, when your child says, "I don't know what to do," something powerful begins. That's where ideas are born. That's where independence grows. That's where creativity lives. And that's where your child begins to become not just smarter, but truly capable. A quiet shift that changes everything. You don't need more toys, you don't need more activities, and you don't need to become a perfect parent. Sometimes, what truly helps your child grow is a small shift in the way you see them. A little more trust, a little more patience, and a little more space for them to explore, to struggle, and to discover the world in their own way. Because children don't need constant guidance to develop, they need the freedom to think, to imagine, and to become. And when you begin to step back, even just a little, you may start to notice something beautiful. Your child becoming more focused, more confident, and more creative than you expected. You're not doing less, you're allowing more. So if this perspective resonates with you, keep this journey going for yourself and for your child. Because sometimes the most powerful change in parenting begins with a quiet moment of understanding.